Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Our top story tonight, new information about a house fire in Sarasota that claimed the lives of 2 people.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says that Cynthia and Benjamin Langford were killed when fire engulfed their home on Sugar Lane yesterday afternoon. ABC 7's Rick Adams tells us what investigators have learned.
It's a very unfortunate, sad story.
John Garcia lives right next door to where this deadly fire took place. It's a fire that claimed the lives of Benjamin and Cynthia Langford, both of whom were 68 years old. Fire officials say the Langford's adult son was also seriously injured. Garcia tells us this really hits close to home for him, his girlfriend, their 18-month-old daughter, and their dog.
It's definitely a scary situation, and, it's very sad when anyone passes away, especially your neighbors.
Most neighbors we talked with didn't know much about the Langfords because they only saw them occasionally going in and out of their home.
Very quiet, very to themselves, didn't talk to anybody very much. Rarely saw them out.
This was a tough fire for firefighters to take on. After battling this blaze for more than 7 hours, this home would catch fire 2 more times, including during the overnight. Investigators say the initial fire started in the rear of the home near an open deck area around 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. Firefighters had to break down a back wall to try to get to the victims. Garcia tells us there was an electrical outage prior to the fire, which sent sparks flying throughout his home and fried his power strip. We're being told the couple may have hoarded stuff, which made it even more difficult to fight this fire.
There was a lot of contents inside the building, and when you have that much contents, it's very hard and labor-intensive for us to remove.
Investigators from the State Fire Marshal's office are still trying to figure out how this fire started.
As for the son who was injured in this fire, we have not been able to receive updated information on his condition.
A middle school in Manatee County is dealing with a very adult problem. Multiple students have been punished and one arrested after cocaine was found on campus. Earlier this month, the resource officer at Buffalo Creek Middle School in Palmetto arrested a 14-year-old student for possession of cocaine. Faculty found cash in a small bag filled with what lab tests confirmed to be the drug, which the student admitted to taking on campus that day. According to the family of another student being punished, multiple students admitted to taking the drug at school before. The family, who were asked to remain anonymous, is now concerned the school did not alert other parents about this incident.
If my brother wasn't involved in the situation, we would have never found out. We wouldn't have known that there was a drug in school. That's stuff that I feel like, they have to have some kind of communication with the parents.
It's kids. This is a middle school. It's not even a high school. It's kids, so that's very scary.
School board spokesperson says it was an isolated incident that was handled within the district's code of conduct policy. The arrested student was taken to juvenile detention, and the Manatee County Sheriff's Office says there's no further investigation at this time.
A preschool in Sarasota County is cited for safety violations after a child was unknowingly left behind in a school vehicle. Sarasota County's Early Learning Coalition sent out a notice on the situation at the Kinderhouse Preschool on Constitution Boulevard. The child was not harmed or in any immediate danger, but coalition staff members say it's a serious violation. Parents with a child enrolled at the preschool are being notified. The coalition will work with any parents who want to find a new provider.
Another sign of growth on the Sun Coast, the city of Northport celebrating the construction of a new fire station. A groundbreaking ceremony held today for Fire Rescue Station 85. The $3 million building will be built at the corner of Biscayne Drive and Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Construction crews have already begun clearing the land there. Once it's built, firefighters will no longer need to work out of the temporary facility on North Solera Street. The fire station is expected to be complete by next summer.
The senior advocacy group AARP is fighting Florida Power and Light over its request to raise rates. Today, AARP representatives testified before the Public Service Commission. The group told regulators that FPL's request for a base rate increase of $811 million is not needed. Under the plan, a typical customer would see their bill go from about $91 a month to $98 a month in January. By the year 2020, their monthly bill would be roughly $103. The advocacy manager for AARP says the rate hikes would only benefit stockholders.
Florida Power and Light, does a credible job in terms of delivering its service, but it's already been paid for those services. And we don't believe the evidence supports any increase.
FPL initially requested the base rate grow by $1.3 billion over 3 years to improve its electricity service, reduce emissions, improve fuel efficiency, and strengthen the system against severe weather. However, FPL backed down from that number after several groups opposed that proposal. A decision on the rate request is expected by December.
I would imagine a lot of air conditioners were still running this afternoon.
Yeah, the heat, I think it just keeps ticking back up, Bob.
It is. You can feel the humidity getting higher and higher each and every day. And also some clouds around this afternoon associated with this system we talked about over the past couple of days. There looks to be a little bit of a tropical motion to this area. You can see that a counterclockwise swirl right there, but the shear is just too strong to anything generating too quickly. The Hurricane Center now is keeping an eye on it, put it that way. You can see some showers now down to our south near the Key West area, also over South Florida. Pretty heavy rainfall, almost looks like banding features kind of feeding into the system, but it isn't. Just the old frontal boundary still kind of acting up there with plenty of instability in the atmosphere over South Florida. That's where all the tropical air is. As far as we're concerned, the dew point temperature has come up now at 61 and the temperature 84 degrees despite the clouds. They're high variety clouds, so sun able to penetrate through still. Winds are out of the east, northeast. It's been breezy over the past few days. It will stay that way too on Friday. For this evening, look for clouds, not much rain. Temperatures still staying pretty warm through 11 o'clock. More on your forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. New flights out of Punta Gorda Airport will make it easier for travelers to visit Philadelphia and Chicago. Frontier Airlines begins service at Punta Gorda Airport this weekend. Flights to Philly begin Sunday, flights to Trenton, New Jersey begin Monday, and those to Chicago start in a few weeks. Airport officials say they expect Frontier to bring about 8,500 passengers in and out of the airport each month.
And ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. A quiet day on Wall Street, Richard, but all down arrows, unfortunately.
Haley, you're absolutely right. What we've got here is a market that's simply looking for direction. One day we're up 40 points, the next day we're down 60 points, then we're up 50 and down 30. I think you've got the idea. We're just simply treading water, going nowhere. There is an election coming up, I understand, and that may have something to do with it. But we really are seeing, for the most part, pretty darn good earnings. IBM moved higher today. Boeing, unfortunately, moved lower. Several drug stocks did very well, so it's really a mixed bag. That's about all I can say about it. But let's take a look at the numbers in that mixed bag. There you see the Dow was down less than 30 points, 0.16%, closing at 18,169.68 on fairly light volume of 629 million shares. The biggest mover of the day was the NASDAQ, down more than 0.6%, more than 34 points, closing at 5,215.97. That on volume of 1,547 million shares. The S&P right in the middle, down 0.3%, just over 6 points, closing at 2,133.04. Well, there was some good news today out of drug manufacturer Bristol Myers Squibb. Their shares jumped 5.6% today. Reason for it? Well, number one, their quarterly earnings came in far better than expected, and for next year, for the entire year, they are also expecting earnings to come in well above Wall Street consensus estimates. Two drugs had an awful lot to do with this performance. One of them is a drug called Eliquis, which prevents blood clots, and its sales were up by 90%, 90. Another one is a drug called Yervoy, which deals with melanoma, and it was up by 19%. So it's nice to see companies well, and it's certainly nice to see them coming up with products that are helping us all across the board for our long-term health and our long-term care.
And Richard, before we let you go, some news on Amazon tonight.
Yes, after the close, you know, these companies, some of them don't come out with earnings till 4:15. That was the case with Amazon. The earnings did not look terribly good. Now, the stock's been doing incredibly well, but I would think Amazon will certainly open lower tomorrow. Where it'll finish, we'll have to see, but definitely open lower.
Okay. Richard, thanks so much for the update.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, stopping the ongoing IRS scams across the country. How the government took down a complex fraud scheme and is making sure scammers are prosecuted.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, are women drinking as much as men? How alcoholic drinking habits have changed over the years. That's coming up in Health Smart.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota flooring.
Look
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Sarasota Opera presents Donizetti's Don Pasquale. 6 performances from October 28th through November 13th. Reserve your tickets at sarasotaopera.org.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Federal authorities arresting 20 people across the United States and charging more than 30 others overseas in connection with an IRS scam that targeted 15,000 victims and extorted hundreds of millions of dollars from innocent people.
Using fear, intimidation, and a network of call centers, suspects in 6 states and in the country of India are accused of a complex fraud scheme, and the feds have taken action to take down what all starts with one phone call. ABC News' Lauren Lister has more.
First, there's a phone call, and then the threats begin.
He gave me a number of money that I was owing in back taxes, and if I didn't comply with his instructions, then that law enforcement units would be to my house within 30 minutes to arrest me.
On the other end of the line, a man claiming to be an officer from the IRS, giving a badge number and demanding money immediately. Joseph, a California retired federal service employee who asked to have his identity obscured, says he was under the spell and within days was out $25,000. One of thousands scammed this way. Others threatened with deportation.
For nearly 4 years, this criminal network used a variety of schemes to trick frightened individuals over the phone by tapping into their worst fears.
Scammers told Christine, a California medical sales professional, law enforcement was going to show up at her work the next day if she didn't pay nearly $7,000 in purported tax debt related to her cancer treatment.
I said, you're dealing with somebody that's a cancer victim here. I said, there's got to be some level of grace, for this. But there wasn't.
She paid up, and once she realized she was conned,
I just absolutely couldn't believe it.
Officials say if you get one of these calls, it is not the U.S. government. They say the government never calls and demands immediate payments like this. Do not pay. Report it to law enforcement. Lauren Lister, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And Bob, we're kind of lamenting that, and this is coming back, the humidity, the heat.
Yeah, we knew it would too. I mean, it's not quite there yet. We're going to see these cold fronts come through one after another and really chill us out. But yeah, humidity coming back up slowly but surely, and also some rain down to our south. We still have a tropical system we're watching too, so it's not quite over yet. Anna Maria webcam showing a lot of clouds around today. Temperatures did warm, slightly above average. Yesterday's high was 88 degrees. Well above the average of right around 83. And the sun's still able to penetrate through these high variety of cirrus clouds. So keep that in mind, especially if you're heading to the beaches. Still have to load up on the sunscreen despite the presence of clouds. And a lot of rainfall down to our south. And this is a pretty impressive line of showers and storms kind of training over the same area in throughout the Keys right now. Key Largo getting hit the hardest with the heaviest rain near Florida City, south of Miami. And that is staying to the south, basically. But look at this. Snow falling. Winter is moving in pretty quickly here in Vermont, New Hampshire, also into Connecticut. And in upstate New York, some pretty heavy snow falling there near Toronto all the way up to Ottawa this afternoon. And that snow has been coming down fairly heavy. You can see Rutland getting some showers and some snow showers out of that activity. Albany, it's been kind of a rain-snow mix there. And Piercefield getting all snow. For us, winds brisk out of the east and northeast throughout the day today. Anywhere from 10 to 15 right now, up to 20 at times. You can see in Northport at 16 miles an hour out of the east and northeast. Currently, we have some clouds around, 84 degrees, and the dew point is higher, 61 degrees. But you have to realize that dew point during the summer months in the low 70s, right around 73, 74 degrees. That's what really makes it humid. So it's not too oppressive right now. Humidity at 46%. We have an east and northeast wind at 20 miles an hour sustained. And 78 in Jacksonville now, 76 in Miami, 84 in Sarasota. And temperatures into the mid-80s to lower 80s up and down the coast. A little bit cooler inland. Sebring at 79, Avon Park here at 80 degrees. Forecast tomorrow doesn't change much for Friday. High temperatures once again approaching 87 degrees by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There will be a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. No real threat of any rainfall. I know I had a few sprinkles today. That was it. And there's no measurable precipitation anticipated. Well, things are quiet over the central U.S. right now. There is a storm system, though, gathering well to the west. Those are the storms we look for to eventually send a front our way, but that's not happening anytime soon. As we take a look at the forecast, you can see a backdoor front coming down to near Jacksonville, Daytona Beach. It's not going to slice all the way through here. It pulls up stationary. We still see that east and northeasterly wind flow for the most part right through the weekend. Temperatures cold over the northeast. Boston now 45. It's 34 degrees in Toronto and Chicago. 49 degrees, 59 in St. Louis. You see these warm temperatures here. They'll start to spread off toward the east as the whole pattern kind of shifts off from the west to the east over the weekend. Northeasterly winds for boaters. Once again, tough going out there, a moderate chop. And in fact, looking at choppy conditions on Saturday, subsiding somewhat on Sunday. So the best boating day of the weekend will be on Sunday. And we'll start off kind of brisk on Sunday morning. East winds at 15 knots. But for tomorrow, moderate chop out there. UV index 7 in the moderate category. And the water temperature now 76 degrees. Tides upcoming. High tide will be at 11:30. We have a low tide tonight at 6 o'clock sharp, and then another low tide at 6:42. Sunset will be at 6:50. Tonight's forecast, warm and breezy. Partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies. 68 degrees. Northeasterly winds 10 to 15. Tomorrow, here we go. Above average temperatures, 88 for downtown Sarasota. Partly cloudy and breezy. Northeast to northeast winds 10 to 15. The extended forecast calling for a warm day on Saturday. Maybe with that backdoor front, some of the cooler air tries to slip in, but doesn't have much success. Temperatures into the mid-80s all the way through Thursday of next week. Scott.
Okay, Bob, thank you. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, drivers should be cautious as they cross the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. There's a strong wind advisory, and traffic is also backed up in the southbound lanes there because of an earlier car fire, but one lane is open. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, the Food and Drug Administration has announced labels on prescription testosterone will now carry a new warning about the serious health risks that have been linked with abuse of these products. The FDA says some athletes and bodybuilders take the hormone in high doses to use it together with other anabolic steroids. Such abuse has been linked to heart attacks, stroke, depression, male infertility, and hostility. And people who abuse testosterone may experience withdrawal symptoms when they stop taking the drug. Women reportedly now drink as much as men. Looking back on the drinking habits of more than 4 million people globally over the last 100 years or so, Aussie researchers say the ladies have closed the drinking gap with men. Guys born between 1891 and 1910 were twice as likely as women to drink alcohol and 3 times as likely to abuse it. Those numbers are now equal for men and women born between 1991 and 2000. That could partly be due to marketing efforts and products geared toward young women, plus changing social norms. Coming up next, a tow truck driver takes a sports car out for a joyride but doesn't realize it's all caught on camera. Plus, an elderly orangutan. Her remarkable age is earning her a world record title. That's coming up next.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
The celebration is heating up and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Grand Cherokees or get big savings on a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Big no-no for a tow truck driver in Texas when he decides to take a car he took away for a spin. He didn't realize, though, the dash camera was rolling the entire time. The video shows the tow truck driver cruising around a neighborhood in a $110,000 Nissan GTR, very high-performance car, as if he owned the car. It actually belongs to a wheelchair-bound man who had it towed away to get the transmission checked. When the owner picked up his car, he noticed a few things missing, which prompted him to check the dash cam video.
He unloaded the car at his house, his actual residence, took it around the block, spinning the tires, then called his buddies up. You gotta come see this, you come drive it. This is somebody that's getting paid to do a job, and they didn't do their job.
According to the towing company, the driver was a contract driver who doesn't work for them, and the incident is not their responsibility. Police are now working to identify the driver, and once they do, he will be arrested. Some passengers on a subway train had to make a smoky escape in Boston. It all started when the train's motor overheated and caught fire. Video shows the passengers frantically running through the station and breaking train windows to escape. At one point, a chef says she used her knife to smash a window. There was also a trash fire on the tracks nearby. 5 people had to be treated for smoke inhalation.
Police in New Jersey are looking for a couple of thieves who stole about 200 pumpkins from a farm. Surveillance cameras caught the 4 men loading the pumpkins onto a van. Each pumpkin is worth more than $2,000. The family who owns the farm has been running it for the past 120 years. They're offering a $1,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. And you may be looking at the oldest living orangutan in the world. 60-year-old Puin is believed to have been born in the wild in 1956. She arrived at an Australian zoo in 1968 as a gift from a Sultan of Malaysia in exchange for some native Australian wildlife. She has exceeded the usual age for this species, which is about 50 years old. Puin has earned a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. Workers at the zoo say the orangutan is in relatively good health, but a little bit cranky in her old age. To be expected.
Yeah.
She's deserved it.
Who can blame her?
Right.
Must be
Congrats
having a good
to her.
life.
Happy birthday.
I know.
Yeah, she is.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, more people, more traffic, more congestion.
Coming up next, a special report on how Sarasota County plans to tackle growth through the year 2020 and at the same time preserve the beauty of the Suncoast.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a brand new 2017 Lexus ES 350 for only $379. Just $379 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new Lexus RX 350 for only $419. Just $419 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.